Hello, my name is Marissa and I'm going to do a tutorial today for the Potomac Bead Company. For today's tutorial, I'm going to show you how to make my Zoli Blossom Bracelet. A full list of the materials needed for this project is below in the description bar of this video. If you need any of the materials, you can purchase them at PotomacBeads.com or PotomacBeads.eu. I hope you will join me in making my Zoli Blossom Bracelet.
Okay. So I have thread on 2 needles, and it's best if you use size 12 because we're going to be going through our 15-0 beads a few times. So with one end, you're going to pick up 4 15-0s, 4 15-0s, a left ZoliDuo bead, a right ZoliDuo bead, and 4 more 15-0s again. So this is what we have on our needle. This is what we have. Just like that. They look like 2 little bunny ears. Now it's kind of hard but try to keep them towards the middle of your thread like that. Now on each side you're going to hop on over to the other hole of your ZoliDuo. So your right needle is going to go through the right ZoliDuo up the other hole, and the needle on your left hand is going to go through the left needle up the second hole as well. Now since this is our first little unit, it's a little bit more difficult, but once you get going, it's pretty easy. So you should be coming out like this, towards the center of your project. Now pick up a Samos bead and make sure you're holding it with the round side up, and you're going to cross both of your needles through that hole closest to you and pull, and this is what we have. Now we're going to pick up on each needle 3 15-0s, 3 15-0s like that, let them drop, and we're going to hop on over to the other hole of our Samos bead, and we're going to cross through that one as well. So you should be coming out like this. Coming out of our Samos, we need a left ZoliDuo on your right hand side, and and a right ZoliDuo on your left hand side, just like that. So we're going to come out with my left hand side. I'm going to go through this one like this, and then on my right side I'm going to go through this ZoliDuo like that. So this is how we should be coming out. And then we're going to pick up 4 more 15-0s on each needle. And now we're going to cross through these ZoliDuos. We're going to go through these 2, through the other hole, but we're going to take our needle and go through both of them, because we need to cross through them and we need to come out through our ZoliDuos, so that this will get us ready to do our little connecting piece. Now our little connecting piece is really simple. We're just picking up 2 11-0s on each needle, an IrisDuo, and you're not going to cross through it, you're just going to go through it like this, like that, and then Just make sure when you pull that, there you go. And then on goes 2 11/0s on each needle again. And then now from here, we're going to get into doing our second little unit. So again, let's get our little ZoliDuos in place. I got mine in place there. And we're going to cross through them. After we add our 2 11/0s on each needle, we're going to cross through our 2 ZoliDuos like this. And we have our little bunny ears again. And from here, we're ready to do the rest of it. So from here, we're going to add our 4 15/0s, go through these holes, pick up our Samos, cross through it, and just the way we did on this unit, on this very first unit. So go ahead and do the length that you're going to need. I'm going to do about 6. This bracelet will not shrink on you. Just take into account the type of clasp you're going to use, and then I will meet you back. Okay. So I did all my units, and I have a total of 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6. So once I ended it, now I'm ending it at an actual unit, and I usually end my bracelets like at one of these connecting type units, like with these IrisDuos, but I'm just going to end it at one of these. You can go ahead and end it however you like, but it's best if your ends match, like how I started it with one of these units and I'm going to end it with one of these units. You can add another one of these IrisDuo units here at the beginning and then end it that way, or you know, however you want to do it. So this is how I'm ending mine. And once I'm coming out of my, once I've crossed through the thinner part here of my ZoliDuos and I've came out, I added 2 11/0s on each needle, and then I added one more 11/0 and I didn't cross, but instead, let me pull it out so you can see how I did it. Both of my needles went through it in the same direction like that. I didn't cross, I just went through it like that. So now that I have that on, I'm gonna add my little button. So I'm going to do 2 more 11/0s on each needle, letting them drop. Then I'm going to pick up my button. I'm going to add 3 more. Now you can decorate this with a crystal or with 15/0s, but I'm going to use, since I'm not using crystals for this project, I'm just going to use 3 11/0s. And again, you could use 15/0s, but it's always easier for me if I just decorate it with 11/0s. I don't want to have the hassle of trying to get my needle through 15/0s there. So this is what I have. And then with this needle, I'm going to continue going through the rest of my beads there. It's still pretty loose, so I can just go through the other 11/0 and then come out. So I gotta, and like I said, since it's still pretty loose, I can still catch these 11/0s here on the side. I mean, here that I have before my button, and for some reason I'm having a hard time going through one of my 11/0s. Okay. It might be one of those with a little bit of a smaller opening or something. And then, I don't know what I did here. Tangled my threads up. Okay. I'm coming out through these 2 that are right before my button. And then I'm just going to go in through that middle 11/0 with both of my needles in the same direction. Remember, not crossing. I mean, you can cross through it if you want. I guess that would be easier. I don't think it would make much of a difference, but I'm just going to do it this way. Okay, and then I'm just, after I go through it, I'm just going to go down these 2 11/0s on the side.
which I didn't do with this one, but I'll just go ahead and do that now. So both of my needles have, and I'm just going to hold on to my piece and then pull my threads. That way everything is on there tight. And I missed a bead there. Okay, I'm going to go back and go through that and fix this all up. Then we'll be ready to do our next step. Be right back. I've already added my clasp, and please ignore these 2 units here. After my clasp, I added 2 15-ohs. Well, after my clasp and I went up those 2 11-ohs, I added 2 15-ohs. And then I went through these 4 15-ohs here, these 4 15-ohs on the side of my ZoliDuo. And I ended up removing 1 15-oh, so now I only have 1 15-oh there. So let's just do that again over here. And I have come out of my 11-ohs. I went through these 15-ohs. I added nothing. See, after my 11-ohs here, I added nothing, and I simply went up these 4 15-ohs on the side. I went through the ZoliDuo, through the Samos, and out through the ZoliDuo. The same thing over here. Coming out of these 2 11-ohs, I went up these 15-ohs on the side, through the ZoliDuo, through the Samos bead, and out of this ZoliDuo. So I am now coming out of both of my ZoliDuos like this. Now the reason I have these two units done like this is because I was kind of practicing, trying to find a way that would make it easier to just do all of the project, well, not all of it, but finish it up on the second step. And you can, but it also puts more stress on your 15-ohs, and I don't want you to break any 15-ohs. And really, there's nothing wrong with doing 3 passes on a bracelet anyway, so, because we want to have the best piece we can have. So I'm coming out of my ZoliDuos here on both sides, and pardon the noise, somebody is mowing their lawn. Okay, so I have 4 15-ohs on both needles. 4 15-ohs, and since it has been a while since I have made this bracelet, and I actually don't have it in my possession at the moment, I have to go back to my pictures and kind of figure out how I did it. So, okay, so I'm coming out. I've added 4 15-ohs on both needles, and again, both needles are coming out of my ZoliDuos. Pick up the middle 15-oh here from the 15-ohs on the side. Then pick up 4 more 15-ohs. Go through this ZoliDuo here. Then go through the Samos bead. And then you're just going to come out of your ZoliDuo here. And then you're going to go up these 4 15-ohs here, up these 11-ohs, and through the IrisDuo. And you're also going to go through these 2 11-ohs here, and that will put you in place to add your 15-ohs on your next unit. So let's do that again. Coming out of my ZoliDuo here, I have already added to my thread and needle 4 15-ohs. I'm going to go through this middle 15-oh here on the side of my Samos bead and pull. I'm going to add 4 more 15-ohs. Go through my ZoliDuo here, and then if I can catch the Samo, ouch, but if I can't, I won't. So there we go. Now I'm going to go through my Samos bead,
through this ZoliDuo here. And then through these 4 15-0s here. Then up these 11-0s, the IrisDuo, and the 11-0s after it. And you know, the IrisDuo that I used, you don't have to use an IrisDuo. You can use whatever kind of bead there. You may just need to have to adjust the count of your 11-0s, but that's generally no problem. You can use pretty much any 2-hole bead there, and there's a lot of them now. So, but I like how the IrisDuos look, so I'm just sticking to that. So coming out of these 2 11-0s, and we're going to do that again. Coming out of these 11-0s, and again, this is just like here after I added my clasp, only after these 2 11-0s, I added 1 15-0, and then I went up these 15-0s. So, but now here, this is just the middle part, the regular part of my project. Coming out of these 11-0s, on each needle goes nothing. We're just going to go through these 15-0s that are on the side of our ZoliDuos. Go through these 15-0s. Gonna do the same over here. Remember, I added nothing. I'm just going from my 11-0s straight up to those 15-0s on the side of my ZoliDuos. Then I'm going to go through my ZoliDuo, through my Samos, and I like this because this reinforces the Samos with the ZoliDuos. That way that's not all flimsy and floppy. Because trust me, I tried doing this several times, and I tried doing it in a way that would be easiest, but at the same time, and see, now I'm going to go through my ZoliDuo, my Samos, and out my ZoliDuo. But at the same time, the reason I kept trying it different ways is because I wanted to find the best way where you'd end up with a piece that was both sturdy, firm, but also easy at the same time and less complicated. So coming out of my ZoliDuos like that, now I'm going to add 4 15-0s to each needle. Then I'm going to pick up this middle 15-0 here that's on the side of my Samos, the middle one only, pull, and then pick up 4 more 15-0s, go through this ZoliDuo here, and then also go through your Samos bead, and your ZoliDuo on the other side. Then go down these 15-0s that are on the side of your ZoliDuo, and down these 11-0s, the IrisDuo and the 11-0, and the 11-0s after it. And then here I'm already in place to add my 15-0s on my next unit, but we got to do it here on this side. So I'm going to add 4, I almost said 5, 4 15-0s, and where's my dog? There he is. 4 15-0s, and then picking up this middle 15-0 here. And see, this is an easy step. The way I was, you should have seen earlier, I was trying to figure out how to do it. I had this really, really complicated. So this is way easier. So 4 15-0s down this ZoliDuo. Through my Samos. Out my ZoliDuo here. Out my ZoliDuo. And then also,
and then also go up these 15 O's, out my 11 O's, and then end up the way you did over here. Okay, so now I'm in place to do my last pass, and I actually had to add more thread because I ran out. And now here we are done with our 15 O's. So I'm just going to push those to the side. We're going to be adding our 3mm round beads. Now, as I said, I've already added these here, but we're just going to ignore those units. So here we go. Now, since I had to add more thread, and I have a little bit of a mess with my thread here. My thread burner is just out of commission now. I'm gonna have to replace it. So when I cut my thread, it just leaves a little bit of a mess. So anyway, I had to add more thread, and I just went ahead and threaded my needles again with a longer piece of thread, and all I did was pass through these ZoliDuos here on the end, so my thread's coming out from there, which is fine. Now I'm going to go through my 4 15 O's that are on the side of my ZoliDuos. I caught 3, just have to get one more. I'm going to do the same thing on this side. I'm going to go through these 4 15 O's here. I'll probably just be able to get 3, since the 4th one is kind of like where the ZoliDuo curves. Remember, just go through those 4. Be careful not to catch any of these 4. Now here, you can even add another seed bead there and then just go straight. And I tried that, but I didn't really like it. So I like leaving it open like that. So from here, I'm going to go through my ZoliDuo. And come out of my ZoliDuo. And I'm going to do that on the other side as well. And once I do that, I'm going to go through my Samos bead, and I'm going to do this on both sides. And I just need to make sure I have equal amounts of thread. Yeah, I think I'm all right. So with this thread, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go through the Samos as well. Coming out of my Samos on both sides, I'm going to go through the first 2 15 O's there from my first step. So I'm coming out of my middle bead from my first step, my middle bead that's on the side of my Samos, and now I'm going to go up 2 of the 15 O's of the 4 that we added on our previous step. I'm only going through 2. I'm going to do this on this side as well. I'm going to go through the first 2 15 O's of my 15 O's that are on the side of my Samos. And I actually caught one of the 15 O's that I needed to get anyway, so I'm just going to go through one more. So now I'm coming out of 2 of my 15 O's of the 4 that I added for my previous step. Now these are the 15 O's that are inside, not the outer ones that are right here. These are the ones that are inside towards the middle of your project. Here's where you're going to pick up a 3mm round, go directly across to these 2 15 O beads, here. Can you see which ones I'm going through? These two here. And pull. Go through your middle 15-0 here of the middle ones that are on the side of your Samos bead, and pull. And then here we're going to go back up these, all of these 4 that are from your previous step. Now, this isn't hard, it's just that trying to stay in frame and trying to see at the same time can be a little tricky. And I'm going to go out now of those 4 here, go through my ZoliDuo, go through my Samos, through my other ZoliDuo, and I bet you can guess where I'm going now. Up these 4 here, and see, it sounds like I'm doing a lot of steps, and all I'm doing is just retracing everything that I've done so far and out there. You have, this will give you a real pretty and sturdy piece. My beads don't feel flimsy at all, so let's do that again. I've already added this little 3mm. I'm coming out of these 2 little 15-0s from my 4 that I added. I'm only going through 2, which are the ones that are towards the middle of my project. Picking up a 3mm, going straight across through these 2 here, going through my 15-0 here, and the middle one from the ones that are on the side of my Samos, only the middle one. Then I'm going back up these 4 15-0s from my previous step, all 4 this time, all 4 of those 15-0s. I need 1 more because I was only able to get 3. Then through my ZoliDuo, ZoliDuo, and now through my Samos, out to my ZoliDuo, and now up these 4 15-0s that are right here, and then up these 2 11-0s, my IrisDuo, and then up these 2 11-0s, and we're ready to do that again. So this is how our little piece looks. Now on this one, I did these all kinds of weird ways, and it's not even half as nice. This one's okay, but I had a hard time. Doing it in 3 passes is easiest, and your piece comes out a lot better. So I recommend doing it like this in 3 passes. Now also, if you notice, it already looks pretty even without the 3mm beads. So you can even leave it like this if you like it like that. So it's up to you. So, but I'm gonna go ahead and finish adding my little 3mm round beads, and I'll show you what my final piece looks like.
This is my final piece, and this is what you should have also. So this is our Zoli Blossom Bracelet. This is how it looks. The only thing I need to do is get rid of these two little threads here in the back, and I will find some way, probably with a lighter, to burn these down later. And but this is what you should have. So, and all you need to do, and all I did, was I met my threads at an IrisDuo. I finished here on this side, and then on this side here, and then I just brought this thread on my left side up these two 11-0s, through these two ZoliDuos, and then down these two 11-0s, and I just tied a knot, and this is what you should have. So, and this is how it looks on, and so this is how it looks. It's pretty simple, and it's really pretty too. You get something really pretty out of it. It is also a beginner-friendly project, as long as you can follow instructions. If there's something you don't quite understand, you can always just rewind the video. So this is what you should have. I hope you enjoyed making this, and thank you very much for watching.